Good evening, Prescott Valley. Welcome to the Parks and Recreation Commission meeting of September 8th, 2015. Kathy, can we have a roll call?
Commissioner Frere?
Here.
Commissioner Avalos?
Present.
Chairperson Brinkman?
Here.
Commissioner Fallman?
Here.
Commissioner Trevini?
Here. Okay, and if everybody's had a chance to look at the agenda, can we have a motion to approve the agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve Tuesday, September 8th agenda.
And a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? The motion carries. Also, the August 11th, 2015 regular meeting minutes, if everybody's had a chance to review those and there's no corrections, can we have a motion to approve those minutes?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from the August 11th, 2015 Commission meeting minutes.
And a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? And the motion carries. And then we move on to the fun part, the announcements. And the first item that Brian has is Patriot Day ceremony.
Yes, sir. I would like to draw the Commission's attention to, as well as the viewing audience, that this coming Friday will be our 9/11 ceremony, Patriot Day ceremony. Our event will take place at 6 p.m. right here on the Civic Center grounds at the Theater on the Green stage. Encourage everyone to come out for this free activity, celebrating in a remembrance, if you will, of the folks that perished in the 3 separate 9/11 events that occurred that day back in 2001. Date prior to this, if you would also join us, we'll be having the Prescott Pop Symphony out here again at Theater on the Green stage here at Civic Center Complex. And they will be performing a number of different patriotic themed tunes. It will be a fantastic show. If you've never had the privilege of listening to the Pops, then they are coming to you here in Prescott Valley, so come out and enjoy. And this is all tuned into the entire themed week of Patriot Week here on the grounds. And so we're celebrating the remembrance, again, of every events on 9/11/2001. And you will be able to walk amongst the healing field here on the grounds and visit with each one of those individuals, learn more about them, as whether they were employees or military folks or our public defenders out there with our police and our firefighters. So each one of these flags is in remembrance of an individual. You can look right on those tags and learn about each individual through that process. The firefighters have their boots, the police department, the military. The young ones that perished that day are remembered with teddy bears at their flags, so you can get an entire in-depth understanding of all of this. And we will then culminate that week with our Friday, September 11th ceremony starting at 6. And then Saturday morning, the field will come down, and they'll have its week-long display concluding. So it gives you a little background and information on each of those events. Again, Wednesday the 9th is the concert, and then Friday the 11th will be our remembrance ceremony. So please come join us. All of these are free, and I'll be right here at the Civic Center Complex at the Theater on the Green stage.
For the Pops Symphony concert, all you have to do is bring a blanket or your chair and just set out on the green in a spot and enjoy it.
You got it.
Yeah.
We encourage everyone, of course, if they can refrain from smoking for everyone's enjoyment, please leave the pets at home, and then no glass containers or anything like that. So come out and enjoy the free entertainment that evening.
That's tomorrow evening, the 9th?
Yes, sir.
At 6?
Yes, sir.
And I have heard the Pops, and they are great. They are really a lot of fun. So that should be great. Now, the weather, I'm not sure of, but, you know.
Have faith, have confidence, come prepared, but enjoy.
Exactly. Thank you. Let's see. Theater on the Green concert, Saturday, September 26th.
Yes, sir. Our concert will be featuring Five in the Wheel. If you recall, those fine folks were out here with us on July 4th. Unfortunately, their performance was cut short, Mother Nature did get involved that particular evening. We did not get rained on, but there was enough electricity in the air that I did not need that permanent afro, as that famous movie does indicate from time to time. But please come and join us. Again, this is also free. The concert starts at 6 and will continue through 8 o'clock or a little bit beyond. These folks are a fabulous group and well entertaining. And this is brought to you compliments of the Prescott Valley Arts and Culture Commission. So come out and enjoy their services here at Theater on the Greens. This will be on Saturday, September 26th at 6 p.m.
Well, I think it's great that the town is putting on these performances in the venue using the new stage and covered. What do I want to call it? Covered
It's just a little
stage.
performance pavilion. Yes.
Thank you.
You're
pavilion.
welcome.
And so it's just kind of fun. And Saturday you can bring the whole family and just have a lot of fun. So that's really nice. Okay, our next exciting thing is Touch a Truck on Saturday, October 3rd.
You got it. We have a variety of different entertainment coming up for Saturday, October 3rd, but starting it all off at 10 a.m. again here at the Civic Center grounds is a free Touch a Truck event. This is open to big and small kids at heart. It's a great opportunity for them to come out and enjoy, investigate, and learn about all of this fine equipment that's out there roaming the side of the roads. I know I was always quite entranced with tractors and those kinds of things as a kid. Fortunate enough growing up on a farm, I could jump right in and enjoy those things and learn a lot about them. So this is that perfect environment. In years past, we have had the tractors. There have been police equipment, fire trucks, semis. There's been the garbage man, all kinds of interesting things to learn about how that equipment operates, what it does, and there might be even a chance or two to honk a horn. So we encourage everybody to come out and enjoy, but definitely bring the kids. This is a great time for them to learn and explore with all of us.
There is a lot of horn honking. The kids really enjoy doing the horns. And at the same time, on the same day, not to be corny, but I believe our corn toss tournament's kicking off.
You nailed it. Again, Saturday, October the 3rd, we have registrations that are open right now and still going on. It is $50 a team. You have an 8-game guarantee in that. We have cash prizes 1 through 8 with up to $1,200 in prizes to be won. You can register your team of 2 at pvaz.net. Please visit all of the recreational activities. You'll see us under special events specifically for the corn toss. And late registration can even be handled on site between the hours of 8 and 9 a.m. So come out and visit us again here at the Civic Center grounds. We'll have our beer garden, food vendors, and we'll also have some contests on the side. All of the proceeds that come from this tournament will benefit the Parks and Recreation Foundation Scholarship Fund. So we encourage seeing everyone out there. And there should be probably 3 teams of 2 of Park and Rec commissioners, I believe, if I did my math correctly. So hopefully you all can sign up for that and come out and enjoy.
And this year we have more teams participating.
Growth is always good.
And I think it's grown every year. So,
Yes, sir.
so
And we
that's
do have a
really-
limitation, so do sign up.
Yeah. And the other thing is the prize structure has changed a little bit this year. So more people will be getting prizes.
And
which-
more prizes, too. So,
Yeah,
yes.
a lot more. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think this is going to fill up by the time the tournament rolls around.
That's what we're aiming for.
And people can sign up on pvaz.net on the recreation website. Just sign up right there. So you better jump on it before it's all gone.
That's right.
Okay, our next item is the Art Studio Tour.
Yes, this again is that full weekend of entertainment and activities. This actually begins on Friday, October 2nd. We'll run through Sunday, October 4th, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. each of those 3 days. And we are participating as an art center here in Prescott Valley. It'll be in the Civic Center up on the 3rd floor. I encourage everyone to come visit. We will have over a dozen artists that will be hosted here at our facility. And we are one of several different studios that will be on tour throughout the Quad City area. So to learn more about this, we encourage everyone to look at the Prescott Area Art Studio Tours website. And please join us here in Prescott Valley. And while you're here, you can play a little cornhole and the kids can play on Touch a Truck. So we've got the full gamut of service available to you.
Well, it's going to be a pretty wild weekend, huh?
It is that.
Sounds good. Okay, let's move on to our department update. The first item is the director's report.
Yes, sir. And believe it or not, the first thing I'd like to do is thank each of you for allowing my absence last month and hosting Miss Jessica. I think she did a fine job in representing the department, and also thanking you all for your kind support of our new staff that came on board and introduced themselves. Much beyond that, I really don't have much more to add to my monthly report as written, but I am more than happy to help answer any questions or concerns that you might have on my individual report or the department's report as a whole.
I noticed, and I believe it was probably part of the report, or our statistics, that our, like men's softball, all of our activities fill up very quickly. And we've even, in cases, expanded the number of teams that participate. So is that an indication that we need more fields or more time or, to provide facilities for everybody?
Largely in that case, specifically it revolves more so around softball. You'll see a little trending. Sometimes you'll see trending where men's or women's softball is growing, and another group, in this case the third one would be co-ed, might be trending down. Or you might have status, those kinds of things. Every year is one of those things. Right now what we're seeing is that co-ed's trending down a little bit, but the others are growing where we've reached our maximums and our thresholds there. So every year is a balancing act in going through that. We try to maximize those availabilities, the fullest potential that we can offer out there, and giving folks those opportunities. At some point in time, as always, when your community grows, its service needs and demands grow with that. And then providing for those fields, it will boil down to being able to light additional fields. So if we do, we're going to be expanding perhaps beyond what Mountain Valley Park can offer, and that'll be part of those growth strategies that we'll have to go through. And those have been identified in the future for a sports complex and Agua Fria. So when that time comes to pass and all of those stars can align, then most definitely. But we want to see that continuous trend or fullness, if you will, where that occupancy is put at its maximum time after time.
Yeah, it seems like soccer has also
Yes,
incredibly.
most definitely. And we'll see those. As a matter of fact, we're already trended back to those high-level registration numbers that come through the recreational youth soccer programs, the football programs, and again, the baseball programs too, in doing that. So, yes, we're finding our facilities very well utilized. And so when that growth occurs, we'll definitely have to be reaching out in those ways.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Does anybody have any questions?
I do, Brian. First of all, I just want to say, after reading through your report, there's a lot of work that's been going on over the last month and even past that. But I just wanted to kind of give a shout out to you and your crew for doing such a fine job on all the work that goes on behind the scenes for the parks. Things like polishing, I guess the stainless steel fixtures and doing the weeding and all that. There's a lot of work that goes on that people in the community generally may not know exactly how much work goes on. So I just wanted to say thanks for all that hard work. I do have a question, though, about the soccer clinic that was held on the 14th of August. It's not mentioned in your director's report, but it is in the minutes from last month. And I was just
Correct.
curious how that clinic, how that went, and do you have any numbers as far as attendance?
I don't have numbers, unfortunately. Coach and I have not been able to speak since the last time. His schedule has been pretty full from those standpoints, trying to get the men's Yavapai soccer program up and operating. And I do know, if anything is a comparison in the past, it's been very, very well attended. And it is something that not only the coaching staff, but also the athletes themselves look forward to conducting for this community year after year. So unfortunately, I don't have the total numbers in regards to that. It's also a free drop-in, so he may not have all-inclusive numbers available anyway, so.
But I'm very well attended nonetheless, I'm sure.
Yes, sir, most definitely.
Thank you.
Yeah, Yavapai soccer is very well known. They are very high-quality soccer, so I think we probably get a lot of people wanting to come in and get some of that coaching.
Definitely. And I think if you were reading in the paper of this past weekend's game, Coach has done a good thing. He's got his one loss for the year done and over with. Now he's moving forward, and he's going to run it all the way to the national championship. So,
Yes, we hear that. We hear that quite often.
most definitely.
Any other questions for Brian from the director's report?
I have a comment, not a question, but that I noticed there was a fine letter written to the editor is being very proud that Viewpoint Park is now looking so sharp, and all kudos to your staff for all the complaints have been resolved, and people
Right.
are quite happy. So that's great.
Most definitely. And unfortunately, in that case, there was not correspondence ahead of time to understand the transition and the schedule and the planning, but that's part of
I mean,
it.
at least there was acknowledgement for the improvement.
Very much so. And that is
gratitude for
greatly
it, so that's
appreciated.
good.
Most definitely.
Danny?
Yeah. I just noticed that you had met with Utilities Director Neil Wadsworth in review of the application for the state lands in regards to Glassford Hill.
Yes.
I'm just kind of curious to see where the status is with
Well,
that.
The status is good. That was presented a couple weeks ago by Mr. Wadsworth to the town council. They unanimously elected to move that forward, and so that what we will now be doing is we'll be going to the Yavapai County Courthouse. We'll finish those processes, and if all efforts are positive, then we will then have the opportunity to purchase that right-of-way as being offered. And if once that is completed, then we will have those abilities, and the streets, the public works, and the parks and recreation will have their right-of-way access for trail development or utility access development. And so from a park and recreational standpoint, then we will have the green light, and then from there, our jobs will be not only fostering the development plan, but then also the funding behind that mechanism. And some of the beginning steps will be grant research and volunteer development and coordination. And so we'll be putting that together, and I know Commissioner Frere will be very excited about that. And will perhaps, if I'm being so blunt, be also saying that he will be spearheading some of those things too, just knowing his passion and connections and directive. So, and he'll be giving that directive. So, and doing those things. So, all things are very positive. So that is the next and one of the final steps in finishing that.
Exciting stuff.
Very much so, especially after 5 years worth of work. So,
Exactly.
And just sidebar comment for me, I think it's going to be a long process to get up to the top, obviously, volunteer labor, but something that can bring the community together, and community can have a source of pride in their namesake trail, so to speak, even though it's Glassford Hill, not, you know.
Right.
But I think you'll be amazed at the people that are willing to pitch in and make that happen. So I think it'll be a great community effort to get to the top of that hill.
I agree with you 100%. I think it's going to be amazing, the community pulling together and wanting to get this done. I think a lot of people really look at Glassford Hill as public land. They don't want to see housing up there or development. And these opportunities to use it for recreation are just going to be fantastic. So I think we're going to see a lot of volunteers. That's
Yes.
what I anticipate.
Very much so. And I know the connectivity elements that'll be out there, so that'll be very important. The efforts that Public Works will be doing, not only from a transportation standpoint, but also from a recreational standpoint, health and wellness standpoint, because we'll have the multi-use path that'll be running adjacent there. So it'll have a multitude of beneficial elements that'll come forth for the public here. So we're all excited.
Yeah, and hopefully that will, the town will buy that at auction the end of this month, I believe.
Yes.
And then we'll go from there. Any other comments or questions for Brian?
I have a few more questions. I think Brian always anticipates me asking questions, and I do have quite a few tonight. In your report, Brian, under the athletics section,
Yes.
under future plans, you had mentioned that you're looking for a winter location to host the Corn Toss League. Has that location been identified yet?
It has not. So that'll be part of that process. Some of those elements that are out there of possibility would be the event center. Of course, they're going through their evolution right now, so that'll be a continuing discussion process. This more than likely may not be available this winter, but it is a evaluation request from our summer participants. That's what they would be looking for in doing those things. A lot of the challenge will be coming from the space that's needed. So it would boil down to gymnasiums or cafeterias, and then it's equipment and all of the other fun things that come with that, because this would be a non-storage type product that we would have out there. So working with all of those kinds of things and putting the pieces together and availability of facility and those kinds of things. So that's what we're working on right now.
Great, because I know there's a lot of players in the community that are pretty
Definitely.
interested.
And
I'm
it
sure
would be
they're
a
keeping an eye
fantastic
on
winter
this.
activity, so.
And a question I have about the Yavapai College men's soccer starting. I think they play over at the Mountain Valley Amp.
Yes, sir.
Do you know when they start?
They have started. They're already completed their third game, I believe. Yes, sir. Yep. And so your next opportunity would be coming this weekend on Saturday.
So last year I attended a couple games there, and it's pretty well
Yes.
attended.
And this
whole
year we
side of
have-
the hill is just completely full,
Packed right up.
and
this
they've
year-
always got a great team.
Yes. And this year we're very fortunate in the fact that they have 8 games scheduled with us here in Prescott Valley this year. So take advantage of that.
Must have something to do with the outstanding playing field.
Well, we try, and scheduling and availability. So those are all the fun things, and I guess this year just the stars aligned for us.
Do you have the concession stand open for them?
We do have a concessionaire, so they're available as well. Yep.
Is the schedule available on the recreation website?
It is available via, I think, a link to Yavapai College.
Okay.
Yes, sir. And if you do want to stop by the office, I know we do have a number of schedules available there, too.
Okay.
So I have one more question.
Yes, sir.
In your administrative notes, there's a bullet statement that says that you spoke with a number of playground and park manufacturers in preparation for a meeting while attending the National Parks and Rec Conference.
Yes, that is going to be upcoming. That conference is actually next week, and it's actually would be tied to my following agenda item here for Antelope Park.
Okay, I was just interested in
Oh, yes.
learning
Very good question.
what questions were asked during that discussion.
Yes, yes,
What we might be looking forward to in some of our parks here.
yes. So we will.
Jumped the gun a little
Yeah,
bit.
No,
that's
that's okay.
perfectly fine. Not a
Well,
problem whatsoever.
That was a very good question, and you're going to get an answer, too. So are there any other questions or comments? Well, we'll move on then to the next item, and that's the chairperson's report. I really don't have very much. I just want to note that our work study on September 22nd will be in the field. We're going to be reviewing trail elements. Pat's going to lead us. He's got much more expertise in this. So part of our development guidelines is looking at the trail infrastructure, and so we're going to go out and see the real world. So bring your boots and no saddles.
Snake sticks, maybe?
Yeah, snake sticks. Okay.
Just kidding.
The other item I'll just mention is you'll see a little later on under new business, a work study on October 20th. We have had a lot of work studies this year, but we have had a lot of work this year with the development guidelines. And now we're moving into the time of the year that we're reviewing the annual report and getting ready to approve it. So just kind of a little heads up when we get to that item. We're hoping to take care of some of that business October 20th and then wrap it up the next month. So, and that's all I have. So unless anybody has any questions or comments for me, we'll move on to Tree Advisory Board business, and the Tree Advisory Board doesn't have anything this month. Kind of an interesting month, huh?
I was going to say, just the only other comment I would throw into that, it was just announced that the Community Development Grant application is being made available. So once that's received and we can analyze that, we'll bring that back to the Tree Advisory Board for review and consideration. Some of the subject matter that we've talked about in the past, much like our street tree, our medians, that count, that analysis that was done potentially for review and consideration would be looking at our parks and completing what tree inventory that we've done to this point in time, of being able to hire those folks and even gather additional volunteers and move that forward too. So that might be a consideration for the advisory board to consider looking at what this next community challenge grant application process is, and perhaps even where their area of emphasis might be for that period, that grant period.
When will that be due?
That I don't know. Again, those announcements just came out, and there hasn't been a thorough review and that. So it might be made available for conversation at the upcoming work study.
I was thinking usually the end of September, but I don't know. Yeah.
We're practically there. So.
Yeah, I know it.
Blink of the eye.
Okay, let's move on to old business. And under old business, we have Antelope Park Playground update.
Yes, we do. So what I wanted to do was bring to the Commission's attention of two factors. The standpoint of we've had that time of connectivity that we've made with our, and bear with me just for a second, with our constituency out in the Antelope Park area. We've got some feedback and review information from them, understanding what elements that they're looking for, color schemes, play features, the interactiveness for a variety of different age groups, all of those things. And at that time, when we presented it, we were anticipating a funding budget that was going to equate somewhere near that $50,000 mark. Unfortunately, things have changed over time. And in this case, what we were actually viewing for that budget was a gift and donation. And those have been reallocated in a different way. So our project is now $25,000. So that's the most important thing that I need to bring the Commission's attention to. Now, what I am doing in the process, as Commissioner Trevini was indicating, I had noted in there that my attendance at the National Park and Recreation Conference, which will be next week, will be focused on sitting down and discussing this particular project with the manufacturers there, seeing what new opportunities exist. In years past, there have been grant allocations, there's been matching funds, there's been this, there's been that. There might be some discontinued models that are made available to us, all of those types of things. So those are going to be the research items and the conversations that I'm going to be having, not only with our state reps, but their bosses and their bosses' bosses, kind of a thing to see what possibilities would be there and available for us. So we're going to be doing that. So that is that's the evolution and change that has occurred with this project, because originally our goal was to hopefully have installation occurring within that October-November time frame. We are most definitely not going to be hitting that. And then we're going to be investigating and trying to enrich this project in the best way we possibly can based upon the current budget that we are working with. So that is what I wanted to bring your attention to. If there are any comments or other elements that you want me investigating while I'm there, I would love to receive your feedback on that so that I can implement it while I am at that conference and being able to support the project the best way we possibly can. So my intent is to give as much as we can. If that means we have to look at phasing and growth and add-on, that might be an option that we'll look at. I'll bring that back to you because those are some of the things I'm going to be challenging the manufacturers and project proposals to do as well. So those are some of some of the viewpoints we're going to take on that.
Brian, what date is the conference?
The conference, I will be departing on, the actual conference is on Tuesday through Friday of next week.
Thank you.
I know most of the commission pretty much knows this, but are you at liberty to say where the other half of the funds were allocated to?
The donor had those choices, and so there are a number of different projects that they donated to. I don't know what those funding levels were. So it was a matter of their choice.
Do we know who the programs, at least the programs who received
I don't
those?
know all of them off the top of my head, but I do know a few. Library was a beneficiary, and the Boys and Girls Club was a beneficiary. Ultimately, what it boils down to is you don't necessarily tell the donor where they're going to donate to and how they're going to do it. It's benefiting our community in whole, and most definitely the children in this case. We were at the table asking for this. It could have been zero, so I'm still very happy that there is some, and those changes and that growth. So I'm very excited about that, because as the commission knows, we've been looking for this project for a number of years. And the nice part is it's still at the table, and it's still going to happen. It still can go forward. But it's just that change.
It's a good thing to see that, for lack of a better term, wealth is being distributed to the community as well. So I just kind of wanted to shed light that it's not just cut and then, that it is being distributed. So
Very, very much so. Yep.
good to know.
Yep. And without their help, we would not have a project.
Exactly.
So that's, I definitely look at it that way. So it is a very positive thing. It's just changed, and our mindset changes with that. So we're going to make it happen.
And with that, Brian, we really appreciate your interaction with the vendors, letting them know these discussions would be going on and seeing what they can do to help us out
Yes.
with the funding we do have. So I think that will work out really well. Next item is new business, and we have aquatics year-end wrap-up.
Yes. So thank you very much for allowing me to do the laptop shuffle over here during presentation here. So I'm going to try to get this pulled up, and it looks like it's going to work for us. So yay, celebrations. All right. This report is on behalf of the hard work throughout the year that Robert Kieran, if you remember Robert, he is our aquatics and ice recreation coordinator, does a fabulous job out there along with all of our young people that are employed there at Mountain Valley Splash. So our focus is going to be on open swim, swim lessons, and family night. Those are our three major players out there at the pool, and give you just a quick analysis and overview of our aquatic season for 2015. In total, we had almost 12,000 folks in attendance through our season of operation for open swim, a little over 1,000 for family nights, nearly 2,000 for swim aerobics, 9,000 attendees during our swim lessons, 157 private swim lessons, and a total attendance throughout the year of a little bit over 27,000 for our season. Our season included 72 days of operation. Unfortunately, during that time, 4 full days were closed due to weather. We had 13 partial closures also related to weather. Our daily attendance, we were at 74% on average of daily attendance there. Our open swim times are from 1 to 4:30, and again, we had nearly 12,000 folks that were in attendance during those times. So that gives you an idea. And you take into the partial closures, 13 days off of the 72. Well, and if you really wanted to look at it, 17 days off of the 72. So in doing that, we were just right around 50 some odd days of operation, bringing in nearly 12,000 people during those times. And with the partial closures, what tends to happen is once you see the weather brewing, that tends to keep kind of everyone away. There's those few that like to get out there and dare Mother Nature to tell them otherwise. So with all of that being said, you could almost say that 20 or 17 days of non-operation, weather-related items that are there. So pretty successful and doing those things. Our family nights are held on Tuesdays and Thursday evenings. We have 18 in total throughout our season of operation. We saw a 3% increase this year in participation with the little over 1,100 folks that were in attendance. Again, these are family swim nights, so they're family units coming in and enjoying the activities. We have a variety of different special activities, and at the end of the season, for the first time, we held a family night, family luau. So that was a lot of fun. We had roasted pigs in a blanket and all of those other kinds of good things. We had our little hula skirts and all kinds of other fun. We had some music and movie time, so it was a great season for everyone coming out. Encourage more folks to come out in the future in doing that. Our swim lessons are always a big hit. We offered 5 sessions, 15 weeks of private lessons as well. We had a little over 9,000 in attendance, which is a 1% increase over last season. Our 157 private lessons was a 36% increase. When you see that kind of jump, you know you have a very quality team out there and folks that truly believe in the services that are being offered because it involves the health and safety of their youngsters. In one particular case, we had a family that drove here all the way from Flagstaff to take swim lessons with us. Wow. Okay? So that's pretty doggone impressive and something nice to kind of hang your hat on, if you will. In 2015, we also had a number of different facility improvements. If you recall, we had a re-gel coating of our slide. We had a shade screen repair or replacement, some awnings, our recirculation pumps, shed doors, and some drain grates. In this particular image, you'll see the new drain grates that are in. That goes around the perimeter, so if there's any deck water or anything like that, that's where we can squeegee it to, and it can be removed from the site and make it safer. This gives you a before and after look on your slide. So you can see the dull oranged out look, slide up close, and then the full picture there on the side. Bobby Delso did a very nice job in doing touch-up there on the slide tower as well, too. So it really made for a fantastic environment, and boy, can you go down that rascal now. So very enjoyable summer season for the new refurbished slide there. We also replaced our awnings. Unfortunately, we had some good wear and tear on those over the seasons. Mother Nature is not kind to us, and the old sun can really bake down on you. So Bob did a nice job of finding the company to be able to come in, get those updated for us, as well as then also you'll see there the new shade structure cover that we were able to implement as well. So that's a very important element for us, providing shade out at our pool facility. And then the storage shed upgrades, we had the new door put on there, just basically the other one was vandalized. So we were able to make that jump during midstream of the season in doing that. And then we had made mention earlier in regards to the recirculation pumps. We had a number of those that were upgraded and put into play in doing those fun things. So we wrapped up our season. I think all in all, very much a growth standpoint. I think the facility is extremely well utilized with not only the variation in services that we're providing out there, but also based upon capacity as well too in doing that. So I would be very happy to answer any questions you have, but before I do, just give accolades again to our team in 2015 out there for their dedication and efforts, and then the community's trust in the services that we provide out at the Aquatic Center, especially when it comes to teaching their young people how to swim.
I think just the volume of people that the facility handles on a yearly basis is, accolades to you and your staff and the pool staff for handling that crowd, one, and safely handling that crowd, too. I mean, personally, I haven't heard of any incidents life-threatening or put the town at risk or anything like that. So excellent work there, and kudos to you and your whole staff for managing that.
Most definitely. And yes, we've been very fortunate with that. We've had some incidences that have put us on the edge, but we've been very fortunate and nothing catastrophic. And again, good focus, good attention, good training, good revisitation of skill sets, those kinds of things, as well as then also customer awareness too, and the responsibilities that they have as customers. just because you're there doesn't mean that you're not responsible for yourself and those that are coming with you. So buddy system's always good, being smart about things, and recognizing your awareness needs to be at its utmost as well, too. So, most definitely.
Well, it looks like we had a really excellent year for the pool, and the numbers look fantastic, especially when you look at the number of days that we had inclement weather. So, really another successful year, and I think a lot of what Pat was talking about when it comes to no incidents really comes back to the training and the high-quality staff that you have. So those are the people that make the difference. I mean, safety doesn't just happen. So we really appreciate all of them and Robert's leadership. So
very much so.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I have a question for you, Brian.
Yes, ma'am.
In the past, we've had to close the pool and let one person in at a time as one came out because there was such a great many people trying to get in in the limited space. Did that happen this year as well?
Yes, ma'am. Unfortunately, it does. Once we reach that occupancy, and that's dictated to us by the Water Division for State, and lack of better terms, ADEQ, there you go, in doing that. So when we go through that process, there are state mandates, and that's based upon deck space and restrooms. That does equate to, what your spatial allotment is within the aquatics facility that you have, but that really dictates your occupancy rates that you have. And that's just trying to make sure everyone has the utmost positive experience in doing those kinds of things, and then your water turnover rate that you can work with in filtration. So those are our variables that we work with. So we are delimited to the 237 or whatever that magic number is that we have out there. That is as many people as we can put in the pool at one given moment. So when someone does leave and leave with us for the day, the next folks that would like to come in, if they're willing to stay through that line, can come on in. That does happen from time to time.
Yeah.
So some days we push that threshold really hard. Other days,
yeah, I've seen
not
the
so much.
lines
Yes,
out there. It's like,
most definitely.
but we need a bigger facility.
And that's part of the growth of a community.
Yes.
Those are part of the growing pains that one associates with. Most definitely.
Any other comments? If not, we're going to move on to the next item under new business, and that's that work-study meeting on October 20th at 5:30 p.m. in the Parks and Rec Department conference room. If I can, I'd like to have a motion to approve that work study on October 20th.
I'll make the motion to approve the work study on October 20th, 2015 at 5:30 in the Parks and Rec conference room.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
And all in favor? Aye. Opposed? And the motion carries. Like I said before, we've had a lot of work studies and a lot of work this year, but we're getting closer and closer on completing the development guidelines. The annual report's going to get out. And these are all really big things. You think about it, last year was our first annual report, and now it's kind of clicking along, and that gives us an opportunity to review everything that's been done. So these are pretty important things. So I really appreciate everybody pulling together and doing this. Okay, let's move along. We have unscheduled public appearances, and we don't have anybody for that tonight. Moving on, the next meeting, we have the work-study meeting September 22nd, and that's going to be at 4:30. Brian is going to be driving. If anybody wants to ride out, I'm going to ride with you. Meet right here at Civic Center out in front, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And we're going to meet Pat out there at Goldwater Lake, and we're going to look at some real trail installations to help us with our guidelines. Yep. Our next regular meeting is Tuesday, October 13th, right here in the auditorium. And then the work study we just approved, October 20th, 5:30 in the department conference room. And then our last item is adjournment. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I thought maybe you wanted to stay. I don't know. And is there a second?
Ben?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And we're adjourned.